whatever we want.
Right, we're Okies. Hi, everybody. It takes it a minute because there's a delay. So I'm not going to start till people start coming in. You actually see the number on the thing. And
Okay.
sometimes that's deceiving too. See, it's already showing 2 people in, but I'm going to try to wait because it just now gave the notification.
Okay.
Hey, welcome in. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Joey. I have an Oklahoma friend in the house today. Let's wait for some more people to come in. Joey, he signs in and then he comes back. And then his wife does too. There's Amy. You got to meet Amy. So that's Leonard Mountain Homestead. So everybody, I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to drop his link. Wait a minute. I think I got to tag you. I'm new to all this.
That's fine. Technology gets me.
Oh, yeah, I'm tech stupid. So anyway, we've got Leonard Mountain Homestead in the house. Joe Fix It For You. And then Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. And Jesse's the mod father. And
Okay.
Jesse, I'm going to practice my grammar in the chat. But go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell people about you and
Sure.
that way people can get to know you.
Um, Okies Eden. My real name is Jason. I'm originally from upstate New York for 41 years. Then we moved to McKinney, Texas, and lived in a couple cities in Texas. And then my son married an Oklahoma girl, and then they had our grandson. And then that's when we decided we would just jump the Red River and come up here and get a place, and then spend time so we could, spend time with them and our grandson. And then my daughter lives down in Texas still, and then we have 2 grandkids through her and my son-in-law. So I have 3 grandkids total. I am one of 9. I have 8 siblings. Just grew up in the country, up in upstate New York, up near the Adirondack Mountains, and then
Nice.
so I just got here, and I always have had a garden, but this is the largest garden I've ever had. Now that I have the time to actually focus on it, and homesteading, and trying to get more self-sufficient, because well, you're from Oklahoma, so we get tornadoes. Well, April of last year, the tornado took out Homeland. It took out the grocery store and the Dollar General in town.
Oh.
So you know, it's a problem for the older people that live in, they don't have a car, or they don't have a lot of money to travel back and forth 30 miles to either Ardmore or Gainesville, Texas.
Right.
So it's a hardship for everybody. And I had a little garden at that time. That's when I decided, I'm going to amp it up and begin to really put away my own food for my own homestead. That way I can take care of my family, my family, my friends, our neighbors, if needed. So that's why I grew the garden. And I always had in the back of my mind to do a YouTube channel. And it just happened to sync up that I was going to increase the size of the garden. And then my goal was to do the garden in honor of my dad, because he's the one that taught me everything I really knew.
Aww.
And so I did that. And then eventually I was going to also add farm to table cooking, because I love that. And then also kind of bring it all under the umbrella of homesteading, because homesteading is a big umbrella. You have everybody from, preppers that are serious, they have a compound somewhere, to those that prep. So prepping it's a huge, from here to here. You have people that are off in the woods somewhere, solar, off grid, others that are just doing what they can to get by without having to spend all their money at the grocery store and feed their family. That's kind of where I'm at. I want to be able to feed my family. If power grid goes down, I have food for a year. I don't have to worry about getting in the car, going to the grocery store, So
Exactly.
that's basically my story.
That's awesome. And you
Yeah.
like pumpkins. That's what, when when I got your live stream, I was like, okay, this dude and I are going to definitely be friends because I am a pumpkin freak. I love pumpkins.
First year I've ever grown. I've always wanted to, and it just happened that the soil took off. I had no idea I was going to get 20-pound pumpkins, and that's what I've been getting is, yeah. So I'm excited about it.
I would be too.
Yeah.
Well, and I
What's
know,
real,
oh,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
What's really exciting is all of my grandkids will be here next Saturday, October 4th, to get their pumpkins. So they're going to come to the patch and
Sweet.
they can pick their own pumpkins. So I have other people that are asking me when they can come get them. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to wait now. My
Right.
grandkids come first.
The girl first.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, welcome in everybody. This is my new friend Jason with Okies Eden. Um, please subscribe to him. He is a great asset to our community. He is amazing. I've watched his channel. Pumpkin caught my attention. Then I started watching his channel and I let it roll while I was house cleaning. And then I was like, wow, this guy and I have a lot in common. And so, well, actually with my husband and I, but you just don't see Tom very often. So,
Hmm.
but I was like, we do actually have, I mean, almost everything in common. Plus, we're in Oklahoma.
Hmm.
I transplanted to Oklahoma in '85.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah.
So, interestingly enough, I know you're up near Oklahoma City.
Hmm.
Uh, we go up there all the time.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. You go to Bricktown.
we go to Bricktown, and
Yes.
my grandson has special needs, so he
Hmm.
gets some therapy up there at the McCarty JD McCarty Center
Yes.
In
And
Norman. So we go up there every year for a couple of weeks, and he can get his therapies and stuff, and extensive therapies, and
oh,
so
wow.
I'm up. We love it up there.
Yeah. So my daughter and my grandson and her husband live in Norman,
Hmm.
and then my other daughter lives in Moore. So uh, I can always go to Norman.
Yeah.
If you guys are ever up that way, maybe if
Oh,
we
it's
have,
on the bucket list. I'd like to come up and see your place.
yeah, yeah, I would love that. Another thing, the seed, like you do a awesome seed swap and all
Hmm.
that, and you're having a subscriber garden, which is so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I would be too. Um, so one of the things that about my farm and my YouTube channel is years ago I started a CSA, and that's community supported agriculture, and that's where everybody would just get a box per week, whatever I had, and they knew that I didn't spray. They
Hmm.
knew that I was really passionate about heirlooms and not commercial varieties and yada yada yada. And it just took off. I had like a ton of customers. People were wanting to come out all the time, and
Hmm.
one of the neighbors goes, "No, you're not going to have a bunch of people out here, are you?" And I said, "No, no, I won't do that." Number one, I did ask a few friends to go ahead and come out, and they said, "I'll help you." I didn't get nothing done that day. They didn't help. They just wanted to chitter chatter and just
Hmm.
look around. And Tom's like, "No, I don't want that." And so I said, "Well, I'll just do a YouTube channel,
Hmm.
put it on YouTube, then I would direct people to see because they wanted transparency. Like, are you for real?" I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's obvious I'm for real, but a lot of those people at farmers markets, they are selling commercial
Yeah.
garbage,
Hmm.
and they want a premium price for it too. And you can tell, you can see their boxes, and I ask them, "How did you grow that yourself?" And they'll say, "Oh, no, my buddy did." And I said, "Seriously?" I said,
Hmm.
"Why is that commercial box under your table?" And he goes, "Oh, well, we just use those." And I go, "Whatever,
Yeah.
sorry."
Yeah.
I'm
So now
kind of,
a lot of mine were like, say, burpee, but I'm on like 6 and 7 generations now, where most of my seeds in my garden are from 6 or 7 grows. So
nice.
they're way down the stream. Even though I got them originally, they were a big box store thing because I
Yeah.
didn't have any seed trading. But every year, well, I've been doing 2 to 3 grows a year on the different seed, like green beans down here. I lucked out. We had some really good weather last year. I was able to start in March, and then I
Nice.
harvested. Then I planted again, and I planted again. So I got like 2 or 3 harvests last year. And then what I did was I would, the really big ones that get tough, you know,
Right.
when you don't want to eat them, they just don't taste good, and the pods are tough. I leave those for seeds, but I let them go through the really super high 102, 103, 104 degree heat. And
Oh,
then those are the seeds I keep, the really successful ones I keep. And then I replant those. And then I replant those. So I'm on my 6th generation or 7th generation now of
of
bush
the
beans
beans.
that have gone through 105 degrees, drought, everything. And I can throw them out there and they'll grow every time.
Yeah.
So,
And beans don't cross pollinate like that. You don't have to like separate them or keep them different
right,
from,
right.
so they're a favorite of mine. Or if you grow like, so I do grow for the rough wood, and the rules are either you grow one variety and make sure nobody's within, and nobody out here really gardens. So, I mean, there's not a garden even close to me.
Right.
Uh, so, like if I grew a cucumber, I could save the seeds for that. Then if
Okay.
I grew a like a honeydew and a watermelon, those will not cross because they're two different
Right.
varieties. But if you did two different varieties of watermelon, then they would cross. And so I had to learn a lot in how to separate all that. But so my channel was doing really good there for a while. And like I said, after I went to a YouTube event, then they had really knocked me down. Um, but before I go there, I'm skipping a step. I stopped video and I started the channel in 2010, and I stopped in 2014 when we had that big wildfire root and
Okay.
burned a big chunk of the farm. And then when I jumped on YouTube several years later, and I was in somebody's live stream, and they kept saying, "Hardneck, post new videos. You're like old." And I went, "Wait a minute, what?" And I'm like, they found my videos, and I had forgotten, you know. And so I tried to go back in, and Google had bought it, and so there was all these new rules, and
Hmm.
so I had to start a whole new channel. And then the second channel is really basically restoring the farm, and it's still in restoration because the fire damaged the ecosystem. So
Hmm.
it just so it's kind of like you know
Yeah.
uh, I don't even know where to start. We still deal with so many weird things, like things are just off. So I'm trying to restore it naturally and
Hmm.
bringing in pollinator gardens, and like I lost a lot. Like it used to be a food forest. There used to be food growing everywhere out here. We used to have a ton of more trees,
Hmm.
everything. Um, Now it's changing. So, and this year was just terrible for gardening for me. And then I planted fall crops in the end of July, and the freaking army worms are eating the heck out of it.
Hmm.
So I'm like, but I do have something coming up that I want to do. I went to Habitat for Humanity resale store.
Hmm.
Connie and I went by there, and I said, I wonder if they have some more old windows.
Hmm.
I'm going to do cold frames. And that way, actually, I probably should just do a bunch of those year round because of the freaking bugs. Just everything's off. And then the oil company behind us has done, like, they're putting in new lines, so they cleared a huge right way.
Hmm.
And then the landowner behind me clear up to the back of my garden fence. So that will mess up the ecosystem.
Yep.
And I'm already seeing like big prey coming into our yard during the day. And then at night, we had a mountain lion through here. And it's like, ugh.
Wow.
And then the other neighbor that asked to cut the trees said that they are losing their um, animals, and then that there's a boneyard back behind the two properties over there. And I'm like, oh yikes! So that means it's probably a big cat
Yeah.
grabbing the stuff, going to its spot to eat. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm
Hmm.
like, yuck.
Yeah. There's definitely cats here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and bears in certain parts of Oklahoma. And welcome in, Farmall and Fords. Another Oklahoma channel that's in the house is Leonard Mountain Homestead, Chris and Amy.
Boy, that one sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're fun.
I
They
might, I might already sub to them, I think.
okay.
Yeah. So when I look for people to sub, like when I'm looking up homesteading, gardening tips, hacks, and I find channels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a few months ago, I decided, I'll look at ones from Oklahoma and North Texas, and so I found quite a few channels from Oklahoma. I have Hearth and Home. Uh, she's
Okay.
from she's from Tulsa,
Okay. Cool.
and
I don't
she
think
sent
I.
me seeds.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw that on your video, and I thought,
yeah,
wow, she
yep,
gave
she's
you.
in Tulsa, and she's really great. Uh, I enjoy her channel, but she does some cooking also, and but she does her garden, and so we contact each other through the seed pro. So I've had, my goodness, I've had 5 or 6 people, and I have emails where they're sending me. I have others because I just got a PO box because I didn't want to use my home address.
Right.
So I got the PO box, and I've been getting inundated with seeds. I have like 20 or 30 different types of seeds now, and that's
That's
what
awesome.
I was originally going to, which I'm still going to, because I have a wood shop and I make cutting boards and furniture and things like that.
Oh, neat.
And I'm going to make planter boxes, like 1 foot square planter boxes, and just kind of put them around my yard, and then plant pollinator that flowers and stuff to bring bees in.
Right.
And then I'll also plant some of the stuff subscribers give me. And then I don't know if you saw I'm making placards for each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to wood burn their name in out of cedar. And then I'll put
That's
it on a
cool.
post. And they'll be at each location or in that subscriber garden. Did you see my live today where I was laying out my garden?
I don't think not today because I was gone.
Oh,
I,
so I'm on graph paper. I'm laying out my garden and asking for any opinions, advice, so they can see the shape of my garden, the size of my garden on graph paper. And I have the camera right over it, and I just talk. So I had a really good reception. We had a lot of people there
nice.
asking and then where to plant different things. Some that require shade, ones that require shade versus not requiring shade. So next week on Wednesday, I'm going to do a second in that series, and then I'll have graph paper taped together with the actual to scale garden, and then I'll
Oh,
just keep
neat.
adding to it. And then what I want to do is my sister that still lives in New York, her and her husband build homes, and they're
Oh,
construction
nice.
people. So they have a large printer that does blueprint size paper. So I'm going to send her a copy of that so she can scan it on blueprint paper. And then she can put all of the dimensions in and the crops, and then send it back to me. And then when I get ready to plant next year, I can actually have that out there during videos and lives showing people, here's yours. It's going to go, this one's going to be here. Then 24 inches over from there is going to be the Calypso beans. And then this person's stuff's going to be over here. And it's going to be on a piece of paper so they can actually see it from a blueprint and then getting physically planted in the ground. So I think that's pretty cool. So,
I like that
but
idea.
yeah.
No, I moderate on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in the mornings. Um, I did miss Monday because I had an event to go to. Then I got behind, and then Tuesday I had to be gone for a little bit. No, I was gone a little bit Monday, and then Tuesday I had people out here, then today I had to run to town. Then I had to catch the neighbor about cutting the trees and all this. And so I actually sat down and had tea at the coffee shop when I went to pick up our coffee with a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time. He's going to bring some more trail cams out to put
Oh,
up.
good.
Yeah, because I said I don't have any in the back of the farm. But see, he leases the land behind me, so he wants to know what's there
Hmm.
too.
Yep.
And so he is like, yeah, I definitely want to know. You need to know. And I said, yeah, we do need to know.
Hmm.
Because mainly we've got cameras where you for like the front of the gate, where you
Yeah.
can get people's license number and all that.
Yep. You
And
almost have to have those nowadays.
yeah, they're hidden pretty good because not any of my friends that come over here, I'm like, oh, I saw you here. Oh, you did. Yeah, but we shut along the gate now. I mean, and the people over yonder are retired, so they pretty much can see anybody that comes down our drive and stuff. So that's so
Hmm.
nice to have good friends like that.
Hmm.
And then the other couple, I kind of watch their house during the day because I can just see kind of through, and they're really good people too, and so we kind of look out for each other. But I definitely want to know what's lurking around out here because I'm not really scared to go out at night. Well, I take that back. I am now. I mean, I used to have to go to the back of the farm to turn the propane on for the
Hmm.
greenhouses. And we'd have to check it at 1 or 2 in the morning. And I'd be like, Tom, please go with me. And he's like, oh my gosh, just go. I'm like, no, something will eat me. So a lot of times he would go and he'd be shining the light up in the trees because you don't know. And then I would be like having to go back there. Now it's like I am not running propane in the greenhouse. I don't know what I'm going to do actually because the wind tore up the plastic on the starter greenhouses for just the starts for the farm.
Hmm.
And I can't do the starts in the geothermal. There's not enough room. And the rollies get them. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm in the process of like trying to revamp the farm in so many ways. And I also had a friend come over here Monday. She actually helped me cut up some food and stuff while I was fixing my breakfast. She goes, let me help you. And I'm like, oh, this is so neat. These friends are just amazing. They're God's gift because I'm so far behind. And when I'm here watching channels, I have to be working. I have to be cutting food or, doing laundry, doing something. And so that's why I'm not super active in the chats right now.
Hmm.
Welcome in, us and our bunch.
Oh,
Also,
Shannon.
Shannon.
That's
Okay,
Shannon.
is she in Oklahoma too, or?
No, she's in Kentucky.
Okay,
She's the
well,
one. So she sent me sunflower seeds and marigold seeds.
right. I
Yeah.
recognized her name from in your live stream, and I didn't know where she was, but I
Yeah.
need to add her. So, Mods, can you
Yep.
share her link, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Shannon's great. Yeah. She's really her and her husband. They have a really good garden. Also, they do a lot of gardening.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, this whole community of YouTubers, I mean, there's like some of the first ones I started out with for for many years, and some of them are still going. Some of them have
Hmm.
quit. Then there's just a whole new crowd that's moved in, and a whole bunch of new people. But then there's the old people too. So we're kind of meshing together.
Yep.
And then there's different genres. Like there's craft people involved, and there's
Hmm.
some that do both. Then there's some cooking, and then they kind of blend that in. Well, I think it kind of all goes together.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm
Because I like to do the farm to table cooking because I love taking stuff out of the garden and then creating, especially the pumpkins. Since
Oh,
You know, you
um,
know, growing up, it was always pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie. And then I decided this year to grow pumpkins. And then as I was researching, I realized, pumpkin isn't just, it's not just a dessert. There are tons of savory dishes you can do. And now that I know how to process them with very minimal work, I have probably 10 pounds. I got the little freezer over here we just got on sale, and I got
mm,
about 10 pounds in there. Right now out in the garden, I probably have well over 200 pounds of pumpkins out there now,
dang.
in different form, in different
Wow.
stages of getting, I have some that are ready to harvest, and then I have some that are just actually literally the size of a baseball, just starting out. So I still
Mm,
have weeks and weeks and weeks of pumpkin harvesting. And then I'm just going to
nice.
harvest a bunch and then I got the sugar pie pumpkins, and then those I'm going to make some pumpkin pies out of because they're actually specifically for pumpkin pies.
Yeah.
The other version I started with were just Connecticut Field, which is
Mm-hmm.
the most grown pumpkin in the world. It's the most common
Right.
pumpkin.
A good variety.
Yes, but they get, you can get 5 to 20 per vine per plant, and then they can go anywhere from 5 pounds to 20 pounds. And I've had multiple 20 pounders now. I mean, they are big. But
Nice.
I got 60 pounds one morning. I went out and picked 5 pumpkins, had 60 pounds of pumpkin. But
Nice.
yep.
I've got some pretty rare pumpkins seeds, so I may. I'm trying to figure out. Like, I was gifted a 60-foot high tunnel, and my husband has to clear a path for it. But then I was
Hmm.
talking to a people, the Bastani Plant Farm in Stillwater, and they mentioned you're going to have electricity back there. Well, we don't have electricity back there, so I'm not real sure how I'm going to grow in the greenhouse, but I want to grow some of the rare stuff so that I could save the seeds.
Hmm.
And the way I thought I would do it was have the side panels with the netting, and it has the special bug netting that the bugs can't get in,
Right.
snakes and all that. Well, then I can have the sidewalls that would roll up and have that netting, and then have the rest of it. I thought I would do luminous shade cloth and just grow in there. And she's like, "Nah, I don't think you can." I can with peppers because I've done it in the other two greenhouses that were starter.
Yep.
So I could do a bunch of peppers, but I'm thinking I could probably do a little bit more than that and just run with it because some of that stuff does like the heat.
Yep.
But I've got some really rare pumpkins because I'm a pumpkin nut and I really like rare seeds anyway.
Hmm.
But if I do grow anything, and I can collect the seeds and share them with you.
Yeah,
But
that'd
I
be
know
great.
how to do it with keeping them from cross pollinating too. So,
Um, so I have from the lady up in Tulsa. They're not heirloom. I mean, they're a bag. They're from a store. But I was talking the other day that I didn't realize that there were black pumpkins, and there's also white pumpkins, and then there's blue streak pumpkins, and so I'm like,
nice.
well, that would be cool to try to grow a couple different varieties. Well, didn't I get, because I have a notifier on my PO box that whenever somebody sends me something, it says you have a package incoming, and it said I have a package incoming. So I'm like, that's cool. So when it told me it was in, I went and got it, and it had a package for black pumpkins and white pumpkins. So next
Oh,
year I'm going to
cool.
have orange, black, white, and I'm going to get some of the blue streaked ones. And then the way I'm going to grow them, I showed on my live today when I did my little grid. I'm going to put 10 in a line, and I'm going to stagger the colors. And then when they
Oh,
grow,
that's so
when I
cool.
when I train the vines, I use stakes, so they don't get all over each
Mm-hmm.
other. I'm going to train them over each other, so the colors will be, I'll have orange, black, white, blue, all over the place for
That'll
next year.
be.
And then I can show that on my live streams. I think that would be really, really cool.
And white pumpkins are actually pretty good roasted.
That's what I've heard. Hmm.
They're
Yep.
very, oh, the flavor is creamy and delicious. And
Yeah.
I'm reading the chat. Jesse, he's like, Wendy, you need to talk to Ginger. She grows pumpkins with warts. Well, Jesse, I do too. Normally, I mean, not in the last 2 years, but yeah, I've got some that have warts on them.
I have 6 of the sugar pies growing, and I have 4 or 5 right now that are about 4 inches in diameter. And I know they say they get between 6 and 8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to do is I want one of the smaller ones. Hopefully, I'll get a smaller one. And when it's ready to harvest, what I want to do is I want to pull it off, cut it in half, take all the seeds and the stringy stuff out, just leave the flesh. And then what I want to do is I want to roast them
Mm.
so that they're soft. And then I'm going to put some turkey in there and some that compote I make in there. And then I'll eat it just like it's a bowl. And when I'm done, I'll just scoop it out and it'll be done. The skin will be there and it'll go in the compost heap. So I think that would be really cool to have a food bowl.
I think that would be neat.
Yeah.
Years ago, when I did a lot of entertaining and stuff, I took one of those little pie pumpkins and I hollowed it out and I made a pumpkin dip. And then I made all these different types of cookies to dip it in.
See
And
that's actually
yeah, it was good. Everybody's like, "Can I have that recipe?" I'm like, "Oh
yeah.
no,
So
no."
I mean I made the pumpkin pie with my own puree. I made the pie, I made the bread, I made the cheesecake, I made the oatmeal, I made the soup. So I mean, pumpkin you can make so many things. I have it all in my. I made so much more. I kept making extra, so I have a bunch of it in my freezer.
You know what you should do? Yeah, I mean, if have you thought about a freeze dryer?
So interesting enough, yes, I want to get a freeze dryer. I bought a freeze dryer that was supposed to be a freeze dryer. When I ordered it, it came in today actually, and it's not a freeze dryer; it's a dehydrator. It literally when I was looking them up to buy, so it's going to be going back, but it said freeze dry and dehydrator. That's what it was supposed to do,
Oh
and
well,
it came from China. It literally came from China. I ordered it a month ago, and my wife kept getting the notifications. It'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow. Finally, yesterday it was down in Houston, and then so today it finally got delivered. I opened it up. It's just a dehydrator. I mean, it's a nice dehydrator, but and I might keep it just for the dehydrating because I can vacuum seal it
yeah,
afterwards because it wasn't expensive. But the point was, it was supposed to be a freeze dryer because
yeah.
that's what I wanted to do. Because I wanted to do because freeze dried stuff can last years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
And because like one of my goals next year, now that my garden is the size that it is I want to get 200 to 300 mason jars of green
Oh,
beans.
nice.
I want to get 200 to 300 pounds of potatoes. I had 160 this year of potatoes, but I want to get 200 to 300 pounds of potatoes and then maybe 50, 60 pounds of pumpkin frozen. And then if anything ever happened and the grid goes down and you can't get to a store or a bridge goes out, I'm set for a year as long as I just, conserve. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about starving. I can have good nutrition. I know it's my food. So that's the goal for next year. Once I can get there, then I can breathe more sigh of relief knowing I don't care, if I can't go to the store today because I can go to my freezer or I can go to my vacuum sealed bag or I can go to my canning goods because I have apple trees growing.
Nice.
Hopefully, yeah, I have apple trees and my asparagus. I got I got 8 asparagus plants. So they're a 2-year crown. When I planted them, they ferned out. They got tall. I'm 6'3". They got taller than me. I couldn't believe it. And then I'm getting 14 more plants in the spring. So
Oh,
I'll have a 4 by 25 foot that's just all asparagus. So I don't have to worry about for the next 20 years. I can just go out and harvest asparagus.
exactly.
Yep. And then I want to get some blackberries. Hopefully the apples will take. And then I don't know. Do you ever watch Natty Homemaker?
I'm not familiar with that channel. No.
He's from Canada. It's just literally Natty Natty Homemaker, one word. And she's in Canada, and she has wild grapes that she makes
Oh, yum.
jams with and she makes wine with. So she's sending me some of those seeds. If
Ooh, how
if
cool.
she can get them through customs to get
Right,
here, because I know a lot of times they don't want invasive species, blah blah blah.
right,
But she said they have to declare what's in the package, send
right.
pictures, say what it is, and
Yeah.
then if they get the approval, it should go through. So I'm hoping to be able to plant some from seed next year because I would love to have some, Canadian, basically really just wild grapes growing all over my trellises.
Oh, that
Because
would
I'll
be
have,
so good.
you've seen my trellises where I walk through
Mm-hmm.
like okay.
I
By
love.
next year, I should have about 10 or 12 of those around the garden as entries. And
Oh, neat.
so I can have, anything. I can put zucchini, cucumbers, uh, any kind of
Full
pumpkins.
beans.
Yes,
Yeah,
grapes,
yum.
running blackberries, a lot of things.
Nice. That would be good.
But
I love trellises.
mhm.
Jesse, or can you drop Oki's Eden link in the chat, or Ginger? Anybody, any of my mods can drop his link. Um, all these people in the chat are just amazing.
Yeah, and what I do, what's really helped out, and I try to help people with their hours too, is I watch playlists. Like I've
Right.
watched your playlist, and I always tell people that if I'm at a live, I always remind them some don't have a playlist. Please
Yeah.
go create a playlist.
I
Just go
need.
create one. Give us give us something to run where I can put it on start, work around the house, come in, and it's still going. And then I can always go back later and I can go back to each video and comment, like, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a secret to that. So a lot of us have found out they don't always count.
right.
The secret is watching like 3 of the videos, then
Yes.
stopping, then going and watching somebody else's channel and maybe run like 2 of their live streams. Then while you're out working, then come back
Right.
in, go back, and kind of just bob back and forth and
Yep.
kind of keep a list. And but
Isn't that
I,
it, isn't that interesting though? If they give you an option to run playlists,
I know.
then let me run the playlist. Don't knock somebody's hours because they ran a playlist. It doesn't make sense. It's like make that
No,
make sense to me.
I know. It's YouTube shenanigans, and just like some of my friends that I even watch and actually I moderate for, they had YouTube unsubscribe me to them, and I'm like, what? And I've had to resubscribe, or you
I
know,
have
oh
I've had people email me, why did you unsubscribe? I'm like, I didn't. And I have to
yeah,
go back in and resubscribe. It's like I don't think I've only unsubscribed to one person, I think the entire time I've been on YouTube. And that was for a very specific reason because there was things being said and done that
yeah,
I just didn't wasn't going to deal with it. And
yeah,
so I didn't want that showing up in my feed. I didn't want people to
right,
see who my subscribers were and say, "Ooh, that guy's questionable." I didn't want that.
yeah.
That's the only one. And I'll tell you, the other day, I I had gained all week, and I was like pretty excited. And then I get on the next morning to edit a video, and I lost 10 subscribers. And I'm like, that's weird because when somebody subscribes to me, I don't do a sub for sub because they don't like that. You're not supposed to do that anyways.
Right, right.
I go in, I watch 3 or 4 of their videos, I comment on each one, and then sometimes I'll even wait till the next day. Then I'll go back in and maybe like and comment on another one the next day. Then I'll subscribe. Now that's how they want it. I guess that's what they say. That's how they want it done. And then to take, and the thing was, still in my on my app for the studio,
Hmm.
it'll still tell me the higher number that I had gotten for subscribers since inception, but my actual number's lower. So how does that make sense? They don't even sync their own studio with the YouTube. I mean,
I
I
know,
don't.
I
So I
know.
have 10 more on my studio that says I have X number, but in my actual YouTube channel it says this number. It's really weird, but
It is very weird. I had that happen to me up until I had like probably 12, 1,300 subscribers, and that kept dropping below.
mhm,
And then the watch hours, people kept saying Wendy, I just don't think you understand, I don't think your watch hours are stuck. I think, there's this rule and I'm like, no, they're actually stuck. It's the same exact number. It's
Yeah.
not going up or down. And so I started screenshotting. I would screenshot and then I would wait a month and screenshot for several days. Same number. And it just kept going and going and going. It was the same exact number. And somebody said, I got on a stream. She goes, well, I really want to help you. And so she put me a moderator for her channel and she had me join a live stream and shouted me out and everything. And then when we were done, she said, you know, that this will help you. And I said, not really, because they're not counting my watch hours. She goes, but I ran your channel. And
Hmm.
then the other girl in the chat ran my channel. And then I was on a stream where you had like chat buddies.
Hmm.
You would agree to watch their channel and they'd agree to watch yours. And then I was helping people, but they didn't understand. So I started sending them the picture of the same number, the same different dates, and then I kept showing them a year, like a whole entire year's worth, and they were like, "Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
you're kidding!" And
Yeah. What's frustrating? I've known some people that have lost hours, and they'll show one day they'll have, say, just make it easy, they have 1,000 hours. The next day they have 950 on the earn when they check the earn part for the
mm-hmm,
actual hours. To me, that doesn't seem right, because once YouTube approves the hours, it goes
yeah,
through an approval, because I'm 5 6 days behind on my hours, so they're showing me my watch hours. If I check my hours right now, it says the hours are counted up till 9:17.
mine does that as well.
So they're
You
five, but
every
they're
day,
five. If they're 5 days behind, and it takes an approval process, which I understand, they have millions and millions and millions and millions of people, so they approve all these hours. But once they approve it, then to go back a day later and take them away doesn't seem fair. If you've already
no,
approved it, or same thing with the subscriptions. If you allow a subscription, then they shouldn't be able to just take it away from you. I understand if it's a bot or spam or something, maybe
right.
somebody that's trying to get, hack into people's, channels. I get that. But to take hours away from people, they seem to make it very difficult to get monetized.
Yes, believe me, I know. I haven't. Soon as I
Well,
got there to that point, then they dropped me. They dropped me down. And I mean, I went from, what was it? I went to a YouTube event and my subscribers went through the roof, and then
mhm.
so did my hours. And I had one video that kind of went viral. It had a lot of views. And then a couple days later, it was all taken away from me, and I was actually in tears. I was like,
Yeah,
why are you doing this to me, and then I gave up. I was like, I don't even care.
yeah. Because anybody that does YouTube, honestly, that's trying to get monetized, knows it takes work. It's
Yeah,
a job. It's literally a job.
yeah,
And
it
you
is.
don't just get up and then run a quick video and it hits 10,000 views. You got to work
Right.
at it and build a
Yeah,
community and go to lives and do lives and collaborate and follow and watch playlists. It's a whole thing. But I don't know. I guess we're not one of the gurus that, tell everybody how to get a million views in 5 minutes.
right.
But
Point where I don't care. I don't care. It makes
yeah,
me mad, and if you keep up with it, then it'll drive you nuts. And honestly,
yeah,
right now, I don't have time. I'd rather help people
yeah.
and not really worry about my channel because I mean, I believe God takes good care of me. My
Hmm.
husband takes good care of me. So, I mean, it's the friendships. It's the only
Yeah,
really reason I stay
yeah,
on YouTube is these
yeah.
friendships.
I've
Um,
been, um, I've really enjoyed just, I mean, I want to get monetized because that was my goal when I started. I don't care
yeah,
about the money part of it. I don't care. I'm okay. I have my retirements all set up. I've worked since I was 13 years. I've been paying into the system for years. Anyways, with that said, it was my goal. I set a goal for myself, so I want to reach it. Um, and I'll get there eventually, someday.
Right.
But more important to me is that one of these days, you know, my both my parents passed away years ago from complications due to Alzheimer's. So the chances I'm going to get dementia or Alzheimer's are really good if you talk to any doctors. You know, I have a really good chance of my life going the same route. So I always wanted something that I can have out there for my grandkids and my kids. You know, they can say 10 years from now, it's always going to be out there. They can go back and watch something. It's not like we used to have the Polaroids. You got to flip
Right.
through books, you know, and the
I know.
Polaroids fade over time. Now it's out there. They have their channels. They can, if I was to pass away, boom, they can now
Go back and watch.
continue to live and watch my channel as long as they want, you know, and so kind of for posterity, you know. But and so that's one really positive about some of the online stuff. The other
One of
stuff is just
the things,
white noise. We just got to work through the algorithm, work through the
right.
system, and get it done. I mean, they're not
One
going
of,
to make it easy.
one of the things that you had mentioned on your channel was you had learned from your grandparents and your,
Hmm.
well, I did too.
Yeah.
And that that's why I say we have a lot in common. Like I
Hmm.
learned how to um, grand grandma, the great grandparents had a homestead. They had 80 acres, and they
Oh
lived
wow.
off the land.
Hmm.
And then grandma and grandpa had like 5 acres, but she had a lot on that 5 acres, and so we had to go help them. I
Yeah.
learned I learned everything from
Yeah.
them and my mom, and then some of the ladies at church would. So pretty much, um, I can do a lot of the canning and preserving and all that. But we did get a freeze dryer a couple years ago, and I put it in layaway because it was pretty expensive. I think they've come down, on their price now, but it was over. It was close to. It was 3,000 and something. So I
Wow.
put it in layaway, but I'm telling you, it's well worth it. But that was the game changer for me. I have a induction cook stove, so you can't can on an induction cook stove.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I'm like gonna have to be canning outside, but I'm gonna have to order a new pressure gauge for that canner because I did buy a canner at a auction, and everybody's like, "Don't do it." Well, I've seen many people do it, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I
No.
mean, you can get a good deal. I think it was $10. I
Yeah. You
mean,
can't. Yeah.
cannot beat that. I got some really good deals. I could have kicked my husband one time because I only had like maybe 5 boxes of them that I was able to get. There was a whole root cellar full of brand new canning jars in the box. The box was just had got like funky and wet, and the
Yeah.
guy at the end of the auction said, "Just take them all." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet!" And I'm going down there and I'm digging them out, and Tom's like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "No, no, no, no," and I'm like about to cry. Like I'm pulling these jars out of the root cellar, and I'm like, "You don't understand. These are like gold,"
Yeah. Hmm.
But that's a gift, and I didn't get to get them all. And I said, "Wow, that was just crazy."
Yeah. Yeah.
They're,
And you know, that's what's really amazing how cyclic things are, you know, because we live in a society, instant gratification, everything, you know, kids, I'm not trying to knock kids today. You know, kids are fine, but they're living in this time when, you know, mom and dad can bring home fast food every night, you know, or they, whatever.
poor
They,
kids.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they never worked in a garden. They never went hungry. Um, they never had to go out and work in the rain and make sure you had wood because we burned 15 quart of wood a year because we burned wood for heat and hot water. So it didn't matter if it was raining, snowing, sleeting, hailing. You had to go out in the woods that day on Saturday and Sunday and cut wood because if you didn't, your winter was going to be a really cold winter. You know,
Exactly.
nowadays everybody just turns the AC up or down or the heat up or down.
Right.
They get food delivered to their home, and nobody has to really work for it anymore. But every time there's a catastrophe in some part of the country, the ones that always come through it are the ones that have their storage stuff, their food,
Exactly.
their stock,
Exactly.
that have their generators. You know,
Like
they're
what we
set.
thought.
And yeah, people are like, well, it's dumb to set your whole life up for a one time or two time event. But when that event hits and you haven't eaten in 2 days, you're going to wish you spent that time. Do you
Yeah.
remember? Well, you're from you're from Texas originally,
No, Kansas. I moved from
Kansas.
Kansas in 1985.
So any of my northern friends, I grew up in upstate New York, and I'm talking upstate. I was up in the woods. I mean,
And that's cold.
we had woods. I mean, well, October 4th, I forget the year. All the leaves were most of the leaves were still on the tree, and it's still if you look up October 4th snowstorm northeast, it'll
Hmm.
give you the date. It was horrendous. I think we got 24 or 30 inches overnight. It broke millions of trees.
Hmm.
We were out of power where I lived for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but we had 1,000 cans of jars, mason jars of green beans. We had 500 pounds of potatoes. We had a little general store that you had to walk to. And we walked to it many times through the snow. I know it sounds like my parents walked uphill to school,
No,
you know,
but it was
but we had
real.
to walk. And this, what saved us was we had a wood stove and we had a fireplace and we had a creek. So we could still flush toilets. We could still boil water for food because we had the fireplace that had one of those swing arms you could put a pot on. So we could
Right.
bathe, we could heat up water, take a sponge bath. And people that don't live through that, if they ever are faced with that, nowadays they'd freak out because they're like, they
Right.
didn't get their hot shower, they didn't have their $7 latte, they didn't get their
No,
DoorDash,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at because I've lived through that. You've lived through those kind of
Yeah.
events,
Oh
and you only
yeah.
have to live through one when it hits home, and you say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to be prepared."
We went through that. I had just went to that big YouTube meetup prior, and we got home, and it hit in October real early. All the leaves were still on the trees, and so it did a massive amount of damage. Actually, we still have a section of our farm that we still have to clean up for that. So, hey, honey, I'm still alive.
I was. Do you remember Joplin? And then the Joplin storm, the
Yeah.
tornado, and then Moore had the one. Was it Moore or Norman? Moore.
Actually, in 1998 was the big May 3rd, the tornado. Are you talking about?
No, so there was the one in
I,
Joplin a few years back, the F5.
oh yeah.
Oh, and I was on. I as soon as that hit, um, I had time off and I had the availability of the truck, and I had. So I quick went to Walmart, got a bunch of water, bandages, so on and so forth. And I drove. I lived in McKinney, Texas at the time, and I drove up to Joplin, Missouri, to help with the rescue or the search and rescue stuff. And they had the main highway uh, going in. I pulled up to the officer and I said, "Hey, I'm going in." He goes, "You can't go in." I'm like, "Yeah, but I have supplies. I need to get these supplies in here." He's like, "We're not letting you in." I'm like, "All right." Well, I had a Garmin at that time. It was a Garmin, and I just continued up the highway. There was this little side road that was showing me to get in. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna take this exit, get off in this little dirt road," and it took me to the top of this hill that overlooked Joplin. And I've never seen anything like it. It looked like a bomb had gone off, flat. So I mean, houses, everything's gone, street signs are gone, and I'm trying to get to uh, the one college where they were taking donations and
Right.
setting people up. And so Garmin got me there because it say take a right here, take a left here, take a right here. I'm like, I didn't know where it was. Lines down, just stuff
Oh wow, that
everywhere.
was odd.
And I got there and I got there, unloaded. And then I said, hey, I'm here. I want to help with people. So I want to help get people set up, helped get some help to people. And so what they did was interestingly enough, back, you wouldn't do it now, but they wrote your social security number on your arm for identification because they had more coming in, possible more storms coming in. And I was put in for house clearing. So you'd go in, if you found bodies, you'd call in people, and then when they were clear, you'd put a red X on the building, meaning that building is now clear. It was pretty horrendous event. I mean, it was, and I don't think people understand nowadays. That's why we need to be ready. You need to have food set up,
Oh yeah.
locked down, go bag, because we keep, I never knew what a go bag was until I lived in Oklahoma and Texas. So
Right.
we have our clothes, we have a couple bottles of water, any medications we need, anything like that. So we had an event here. We had one headed our way this spring. My son called, and we had one over here. Do you know where Munster, Texas is?
Mm-hmm.
So right over the Red River. It's about 30 miles through as the crow flies from me, northeast. No, I'm northeast of it. He called me and he said, hey, get your stuff, go pick up my daughter-in-law and our grandson, and just get out of Dodge because it just hit down, just past Munster. It's headed directly for your area, and it's doing 30 miles an hour. So we're like, okay. So luckily we had our bags ready. We threw them in, got our dog in. We got 2 miles down the road. He called me back and he said, it has lifted off the ground and it's clear. So then we called my daughter-in-law and she was all set. She said, okay, good. So then she was safe. Then we came back home. But, I mean, that's, you have to be ready for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you do. Um, I don't know if you'd want to come back maybe next week. You're welcome to come back next week and we
Sure.
can finish this.
Sure.
MT Homestead, they are an Oklahoma channel as well. And he was in the live stream, and him and his wife are around the McAllister area.
Okay.
They hold the Mid America YouTube meetup every year. They're really nice.
They have a meetup at their house.
No, at different lakes. They had it at Eufaula,
Oh,
but they have it at Texhoma this coming year, so that might be closer to you.
they're having it at Lake Texoma.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just east of Marietta.
yeah. So I can get the link and stuff to you, and then
Yeah,
our mods will drop it. But Mike and Terry are going live, and I always hit their live stream.
sure.
I'm live for them,
Just
and
send me the link. Just send me another link at some point, and we'll do it again.
yeah, I would love to have you next week, and we can finish up because
Sure.
I would. There was a lot of stuff we didn't get to cover, and I'd love to have you back and
Yeah. Make a list.
yeah, made a bunch of new friends, and I've got a whole bunch of people I want to subscribe to that your friends that have come in, and
Cool.
so anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you
then
for having me.
if you want to go to MT Homestead next, um,
MT, like the letter MT.
yeah, MT Homestead, they are next. And there's a lineup. There's like a lineup for tonight. There's a lineup for tomorrow. So there's all these channels, and I can email you some of the
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Because
yeah,
I'll watch their playlist. I'll support their channels. I'll do all that.
yeah, and they'll do it right back. I guarantee you. The people
Awesome.
this group are amazing. So
Yeah.
thank you everybody for being here. I'm so thankful for my guest. Please go subscribe to him, and then y'all head over to MT Homestead.
See you
Okay.
over there.
All right. Take care.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye bye.